Jenicator with my Psychological Foundations Project 3. I did Chapter 6, Cognitive Theories of Learning. So the basics of cognitive learning. Cognitive learning theories focus primarily on how knowledge is acquired, processed, stored, retrieved, and activated by the learner during the different phases of the learning process. Learning as an active process involves the acquisition or reorganization of the cognitive structures through which humans process and store information. The learner as an active participant in the process of knowledge acquisition and integration. Knowledge acquisition is a mental activity involving internal coding and structuring by the learner, where learning happens best under conditions that are aligned with human cognitive architecture. Main focus of cognitive teaching and learning approach is on making knowledge meaningful and helping learners organize and relate new information to prior knowledge and memory. Instruction should be based on a student's existing mental structures or schema for learning to be effective. The goals of cognitive learning: communicate or transfer knowledge in the most efficient, effective manner. Mind independent can be mapped onto learners. Focus of instruction is to create learning or change by encouraging the learner to use appropriate learning strategies. Learning results when information is stored in memory in an organized, meaningful way. Teachers or designers are responsible for assisting learners in organizing information in an optimal way so that it can be readily assimilated. What is an information processing model? The information processing model has three main components: sensory register, short-term, also known as working memory, and long-term memory. Sensory registers are very short-term memories linked to the senses. Information received by the sense but not attended to is quickly forgotten. Once information is received, it is processed by the mind in accord with our experiences and mental states. This activity is called perception. Short-term or working memory is a storage system that holds 5 to 9 times its information at any one time. Information enters working memory from both the sensory register and long-term memory. Rehearsal is the process of repeating information in order to hold it in working memory. Long-term memory is the part of the memory system in which a large amount of information is stored for an indefinite time period. Cognitive theories of learning stress the importance of helping students relate information being learned to information existing in long-term memory. Long-term memory. Long-term memory has three parts: episodic memory, which stores our memories of personal experiences; semantic memory, which stores facts and generalized knowledge in the form of schemata; and procedural memory, which stores knowledge of how to do things. Schemata are networks of related ideas that guide our understanding and action. Information that fits into a well-developed schema is easier to learn than information that cannot be so accommodated. What causes people to remember or forget? Interference theory helps explain why people forget. It states that two situations cause forgetting: the retroactive inhibition, when learning a second task makes a person forget something that was learned previously; or proactive inhibition, when learning one thing interferes with the retention of things learned later. Automaticity is gained by practicing information or skills far beyond the amount needed to establish them in long-term memory, so that using such skills requires little or no mental effort. Practice strengthens associations of newly learned information in memory. Distributed practice, which involves practicing parts of a task over a period of time, is usually more effective than mass practice. Enactment also helps students to remember information. How can memory strategies be taught? Teachers can help students remember facts by presenting lessons in an organized way and by teaching students to use memory strategies called mnemonics. 3 types of verbal learning are paired associate learning, where the learning to respond with one member of a pair when given the other member. Students can improve their learning of paired associates by using imagery techniques such as the keyword method. Serial learning involves recalling a list of items in a specific order. Free recall learning involves recalling a list in any order. Helpful strategies for free recall learning include the Loki method, the peg word method, rhyming, and initial letter strategies. What makes information meaningful? Information that makes sense and has significance to students is more meaningful than inert knowledge and information learned by rote. According to schema theory, individuals' meaningful knowledge is constructed of networks and hierarchies of schemata. Metacognition helps students learn by thinking about, controlling, and effectively using their own thinking processes. What study strategies help students learn? Note-taking, selective directed underlining, summarizing, writing to learn, outlining, mapping, and the PQ4R method, which is an example of a strategy that focuses on the meaningful organization of information, have all been shown to be effective to help students learn. How do cognitive teaching strategies help students learn? Advanced organizers help students process new information by activating background knowledge. Analogies, information elaboration, organizational schemes, questioning techniques, and conceptual models are other examples of teaching strategies that are based on cognitive learning theory.